Hey guys, I'm here in South Africa with Peter Milan at Impact Shooting. In this video, we're going to talk about this awesome hunting rifle we used for my African hunt. Peter,
what's up?
Right here. That was the most awesome hunting trip ever. This was an absolute dream come true. I got to see the animals. I got to be with the animals. We got to hunt animals. I shot 5.
Yeah.
And you shot 2.
Yeah.
And
we're 7 for 7.
Right. So you're going to want to check out those videos. This video is about what I would consider a very unconventional African hunting rifle. The one we used for everything.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yep.
This is not a 6.5 PRC.
It's not. Something a little bit more left field.
It's almost exactly a 6.5 PRC, but it's a little bit more exotic. Tell me about the cartridge.
So I decided to chamber my sort of do-it-all African hunting rifle in 6.5 Sherman short mag. And the real reason I did that is because the 6.5 PRC, if you want to shoot the 156 grain burgers like I want to shoot high BC bullet that I can also shoot matches with, you really cannot shoot that out of a true short action. And I wanted a short action for this build. The 6.5 SS, as it's known, is a true short action 6.5 millimeter Magnum that hits very hard, as you now know.
Yes, and I will confirm what you're saying. I have built one full custom 6.5 PRC. It was on a Pierce titanium action, which was a regular short action, and I have had to seat bullets deeper. I had to notch the feed ramp on that rifle action to get the tips of the bullets to come up and to go past. Special magazine considerations, right? Like there's a lot there to think about, and that's why the medium action is becoming popular for the 6.5 PRC. The 6.5 Sherman short, I was super impressed with. Not a lot of recoil. Now we're running a Warbird here with a brake on it, the brake config, which the Warbird comes with. I now understand. It's pretty cool to see how you guys put those together and all that. I felt like I was shooting something a lot more tame than a Magnum 6.5.
Yeah, and this is a light rifle, so that says a lot, right? Oftentimes light rifles are associated with more recoil, and this package really is very efficient in the way that the cartridge is designed. So less recoil, you saw every single one of your animals drop.
Absolutely, yep.
And for me, there's nothing more satisfying than being in my optic, shooting the shot, and you can see this. Maybe we can show some just video of you actually shooting here.
Yes. That hit very good.
Your rifle tracks straight back, you're staying on target, and you're seeing the result of your shot downrange, which is vital if you're hunting in like the African savannah.
Yeah, and both of us have gotten totally spoiled with PRS style rifles, and once you have a Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage, Remington 700, and you have a chassis that's fully modular, fully configurable, and you have tactical optic. The thought of, whenever I look through an old school hunting optic with the plain reticle, I just think, this. How am I going to do this?
Archaic.
Right, like on our channel, Guy Miner, we all love Guy, right? He has a totally different approach, right? An old school like Remington 700 BDL, right? Sporter profile, maybe a fixed power loophole, 6-power optic, you know. And he gets the job done, but like he doesn't shoot these rifles every day like you and I do. And if you can have the same exact ergonomics, the same exact trigger, same type of scope in general, this is a little bit different than your Razor Gen 3 that you would run, right? I found that really awesome. Like I felt so confident getting onto the animal. I dry fired the trigger 20 times. We had shot steel targets out to 300, right? That just, it translated 100% to the hunting.
Yeah. So oftentimes guys will see a rifle like this and it seems intimidating, like, oh, it's the sniper rifle, you know, how could you possibly miss? This does exactly the same thing, as we all know, as a rifle in wooden furniture. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that I want consistency when I shoot my match rifles or whatever the case may be, that the platform I'm familiar with. Having said that, I do lately especially have fallen back in love with like wooden rifles. I might do sort of something like this, a modern take on a wooden rifle down the line. But yeah, this package is exceptional for what I use it for, and you adapted to it like this.
Ah, that got it going good.
Can you see them hitting?
Yeah.
Just see them hitting.
Yep.
Okay, game on.
No, it felt extremely familiar. Now let's do a quick walkthrough because like this chassis, for instance, is one that I don't have yet. You know, I work a lot with MDT like you do, and I've run through a number of them, but the LSS series is one that I don't have experience with. So let's start with kind of the chassis and maybe work our way up to the barreled action and the optic, that kind of thing.
So the LSS actually stands for the Light Sniper System.
Okay.
Okay, and the ESS, by the way, which is my, I think, still all-time favorite MDT chassis, is for the Elite Sniper System. Okay, so the Light Sniper System, basically a more compact version. The XL, it's got a little bit of a longer fore-end here, just a little bit more real estate for your ARCA rail, for your sky pod to attach to the front. I just like this, gives me a little bit more options. Also, running a 26-inch barrel, the shorter fore-end looks a little bit, it looks a little bit odd.
Yeah.
So I decided to go for the XL, a little bit more weight. But I mean, you carried this for 4 days now.
Not a problem.
Not a problem
we didn't
at all.
even have a sling, right? Because the M-lock attachment point had come loose or whatever. And
I had a little bit of a brain cramp mounting the sling. I used the wrong screw. Yeah. So he physically carried this, and it was fine. I mean, this is very manageable. So that's the LSS. Just running a vertical grip on this. Again, continuity between all my platforms.
it's what we run.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I've decided to spec it out with the composite buttstock that they offer. Not crazy adjustable. You can adjust the cheek piece up and down just to get your eye relief right. And that's something that you and I are very much of a similar build. So we didn't have to do any adjustments, but I said to you when we were zeroing this, let's set up the rifles so that they're perfect for you. And you literally just got on them and you were good. I don't even think you changed my diopters or anything on the optics. We just like plug and play.
I had a clear reticle, and it was time to turn and burn. Double check the zero, do the dry firing, go out to 300 on steel, 300 meters, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more yards.
335 or whatever the case is.
But once you're working in meters, everything is
Exactly.
in that unit. It's kind of like a mills. That's my standard scope setup. Okay, so LSS-XL. We've also got an MDT ARCA rail.
Yep.
We've got the MDT lightweight single pull. I don't think I have this one. I have the lightweight double pull.
Okay.
I have the triple pull and some other stuff. And I really like this sky pod.
Yeah. As I said to you earlier today, the reason I like hunting with the single pull, and it's very seldomly that you would have the opportunity to go prone in the terrain we were hunting just because of the nature of the vegetation. But throughout the hunt, we had the ability to go prone.
Yes.
And you actually delivered a phenomenal shot at quite a range.
Yeah.
On
maximum comfortable range for me.
Yeah, it was
Perfect
sort of on the
conditions.
edge. Yeah, perfect conditions. Everything was perfect, and the skypod came into play there. As you know, we can get quite a bit of height out of the skypod if we need to. What I have found, I always have this Vortex Radian with me when I'm hunting. So the guide, AJ, was carrying this for us, and if I need to come higher off the ground, I will tend to default back to my tripod for taking like sort of a kneeling shot or even a standing shot, as you did. How many of your animals did you shoot standing? Four.
Yes,
Yeah.
4.
Out of
and
a
it
tripod.
felt so comfortable and so natural, which
So
means
80% of your animals were shot standing up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a tripod pretty much whenever I go hunting.
It is literally, in my 7 years of hunting now, I've also probably shot 80% of my animals standing from a tripod.
We have grass that's about that tall.
Yeah.
And so we run into a lot of the same issues with vegetation. And this setup, to have the tension knob right there, the way that you had it, no fumbling getting things in and getting things set up. Obviously, it's great to have a couple guys there to help with some of that and the ranging and all that. Totally stable setup. I was super happy with the tripod.
The one drawback, I guess, that we can talk about is the fact that this still has a knob to actually attach the ARCA, where if you had like a lever, it would be a little bit smoother.
Two bets, yeah. Yep.
So that's potentially something they could look at going forward.
That tripod is a little bulky, that exact model. So I think something like this, but with the lever, would be kind of the best of
just
both
a little bit
worlds.
quicker engagement in and out. Yeah.
Yep, and you can set the tension, right, that it cams over, all that. Okay, so we talked about the bipod, the rail, the chassis. Let's talk about the barreled action next.
Okay, so barreled action, you're familiar with Bruce and Bat machine.
Of course.
So this is actually the very first Bumblebee action they made.
0000. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool. So fun fact, when we imported this into South Africa, the police were like, there's a mistake on the serial number because they've never ever seen this.
Right.
So this is a Bumblebee action. It's an aluminum action, short action. It's got a 20 MOA rail built in. This is like a mountain hunter's dream, okay, because it's super light, it's aluminium. Do you know what coating they have on this?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Okay, it's probably like some kind of nitride coating. We can potentially put this in with tips or something like that.
And it's got the stainless steel insert for where the threads are.
Yes. So these are super strong. They've been tested crazy. There's one drawback to this action, and that's that you have to actually machine your chassis to fit this, because to get more strength, they had to make the action flat. So there's a little bit of a drawback there, but then that is paired with a carbon fiber international barrels, or IBI, 1-in-8 twist, 26-inch pipe, threaded 5/8 24 for the warbird. All of my rifles are just the same like that. And then I can swap, muzzle brakes or whatever.
Do you do that with 22 cals?
Yep. Yeah.
So I do as well, and I do have some 22 cal specific suppressors that are threaded half 28. And I'm once in a while a bit annoyed that I can't use those.
Okay.
Some of them are a little bit smaller and lighter, for like a 223 bolt gun, for instance, that kind of thing. I just was wondered what your thinking was on that. But
I like M18x1 as a thread a little bit better, but given the fact that most of the factory rifles ship 5/8 24, it just makes sense for me to also go to where the sort of masses are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just makes things easier.
One more thing about the action is we've got the modular bolt, right?
Yeah.
So when you take off the back, there's a sleeve, and then this whole front section on the bolt, you can basically use that to swap for different bolt faces, and that's very handy. So I have one TR. I have actually a few TRs, and we've got 223, we've got the 68 SPC, we've got 308 and Magnum, right? So that gives you a bunch of different possibilities.
Yeah, for sure. If you've got an action range, screw that baby off. All of a sudden you've got a 223 to simulate your hunting rifle, or if you're going after Springbok or whatever the case, maybe you don't want to shoot a 156 grain bullet over $3,000. You don't need to. Then you can make something smaller. Yeah.
Another fun fact: the igniter has the same tenon design, so you can swap barrels, and then it also has the same bolt section here. So with the TR, there's actually a little nose that comes out for the counterbore. This one. So we have an igniter as well, and so theoretically we could just swap barrels between the igniter and the Bumblebee for hunting or whatever.
Very cool.
Very cool stuff. Okay, so that's the barreled action.
We need to talk about the optic.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is a Razor LHT 4.5 to 22. As you said, doesn't have the features of my Gen 3 Razors that I shoot. Also doesn't have the weight.
Right. And the bulkiness. This is very compact.
This is very compact. It's black. It's nice and sleek. It's got illuminated reticle. It's got everything you need. Locking elevation turret and a cap windage turret, which I find is vital for hunting, or at least a locking windage turret, because the last thing you want to do is, while you're hiking with a sling, accidentally turn on some elevation and all of a sudden you're sitting with a wounded animal.
Yep.
That's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this is paired up with the precision match rings, 34mm. I tend to get away with medium rings on everything. Often guys are asking me, Pete, what height rings? Medium, you're kind of good to go. Unless you have some kind of closed forend, then medium might not be the way to go. And then something that you gelled with instantly is my custom ballistic tape.
Yep.
And perhaps your audience, if you want to set up something like this, I recently did a video on how to do this.
Oh, perfect.
Little bit geeky video.
We'll put a little tag up here so you can click on that video.
But it feels like cheating.
Yeah. I really liked that because you just pop it up, you wait for your range call, or you range yourself, and then you just turn it to that number. This is in meters. We would have ours in yards, and you're good to go. And we had several situations. So I had a twofer, and you had a twofer, right? And so mine, I think they were about a minute apart.
Yeah.
The Springbok and the Impala, and yours were
seconds.
Crazy sniper action shooting, dual headshots on Springbok. I mean, you got to have it right there and know exactly what your numbers are, and you don't have to convert. 330 meters.
Yeah.
How many mils is that going to be?
Exactly. So what I used to do in the past, I used to write the dope on my hand, but now the pH gives you have to look, and it doesn't quite line up. Whereas this, it's right there. You can make a split-second decision. as he's walking away from you, if you need to dial on, because as you saw, they're not exactly waiting for us, you know. It's dynamic, things are happening really quickly. The last thing you want is to be second guessing dope and also potentially wounding an animal, shooting it either too low or too high or whatever the case may be. This has been really, for me, I don't know why I didn't figure this out 4 years ago, because it's a game changer.
Yeah,
and that term is often overused in this in this space that we're in, but this is a freaking game changer.
No, I totally agree. I was skeptical about these in the past, and having used it now, especially for hunting, I'm definitely a believer in that.
Yeah. Then we need to put a little asterisk there. With great power comes great responsibility. It's a guideline.
Yep.
This is not to shoot an elk at
Correct.
1,000 yards, because
Right.
then you need a little bit more then. But for quick stuff, up to 400 or 500 yards.
No, really, really good. And the bullet that we were using, the Berger 156 EOL,
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
All the animals, dropped them all, no problems at all.
Yeah, such a great bullet. We've had phenomenal luck hunting with it over the last couple of years. I've been shooting this bullet consistently now on some pretty tough game. The anatomy is the same, but trust me, African animals have a hard time going down. There's many things trying to kill them, so they're super tough. And this bullet also works great as a long-range match bullet. My friend Skulk recently won a long-range match shooting his 6.5 PRC with this exact bullet. And that's what's really cool. It's having the same bullet you can use for multiple applications, because it's got a great BC. They're obviously super consistent. You get to know that bullet's characteristics, how it flies, how the wind deflects it.
Yep.
And it just makes for a more proficient shooter. It comes back to that saying, fear the man with one gun. He may know how to use it.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, vitally important.
Well, thanks, Pete, for letting me use your custom rifle. And if you come and hunt in the U.S., maybe you'll shoot one of my rigs.
Perfect.
If I come back, I'd like to bring a rifle that I built. I think that'd be totally cool.
I think we're gonna build something super cool. Well, you're gonna build it. We're gonna head scrum together and come up with something really cool. I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Quick call out to the hunting lodge. I'll let you pronounce the name.
Groot Sleutelfontein.
Total. I'll call it Good Times.
Yeah,
That's how I'm gonna
Good
do it.
Times Africa.
Totally amazing place.
Yeah.
Total pros. AJ and Andre were total champs, and what fun to hang out with you guys and have a lifetime experience hunting.
It was
Super
amazing.
exciting.
I cannot wait to see your full hunting video.
Awesome. Well, it's been quite an experience, and I hope you do check out the other videos that chronicle this whole hunting experience, the successes that we had, and all of the experiences. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.